Not as this is a new surprise, people. I here's my thing, because I know you guys wanted a 2-for-1 special, because I just got a video out. If you are not out there right now, it's called Women Who Messing with Men Who Beat Them in Front of Their Kids. Not that this video right here needed to be on speaker, because a lot of people don't care. Let's say our prayers to the Michael Jackson family. People know Joe Jackson died at 80-something years old. I believe he died this following week. I think it was yesterday or yesterday. I like the Jackson family as far as the legacy of their music and things like that. But I'm going to just tell y'all one thing. Joe Jackson was mean. Papa Joe, the child abuser. Not that I wanted to make a video about this, but I'm going to make a video about this anyway. He died. Here's my thing. When you have parents that would push you into becoming R&B singers, pop singers, rappers, and a lot of you on here but tell me you sound like a dude. You know why? I can rap, write songs, I can produce, I can cook, I can do anything. The only thing I probably don't know how to do is draw. But my thing is, I never really had a pushy parent. My mother always made me wonder. I'm sorry. She always made me let me know where she stood at, because my mama was like the Papa Joe, but she didn't abuse us. She would never harm her kids. I mean, she chastised us in a way it should be, but I believe she was a strict Papa Joe, like, oh, you couldn't do certain things. And my mother, she died very young, but she was strict. She had an old soul, and you wasn't coming in her house with that disrespect, and that just wasn't it. But Papa Joe, Joseph Jackson, Michael Jackson's papa, died. Janet Jackson's papa passed away. And he pushed his kids into superstardom. He did. They are so close to, I don't even think they know how to not be close. He has so many goddamn children. His name he should have the Dad Award. Papa Joe, tried his best, to get his children successful. And he did. Their dad wanted control of everything. He just wanted pretty much control of the entire Jacksons the way he wanted. And once Michael Jackson and Tito and Janet and all the rest of them have gotten successful, they became, didn't want Joseph to manage them anymore, especially with Michael Jackson being controlled by his parent. I think Katherine Jackson did an amazing job with the kids of the Jackson tribe. I really enjoy. We grew up on the Jacksons. It was like growing up with the Jacksons was like before my time, because I'm an early 80s baby. And in my house, my grandmother met before all of these things took place. My mother met Shaka Khan. My grandmother met Earth, Wind, and Fire, and my mother. They all met a lot of celebrities during their time. And growing up in D.C., I had privileges to go downstairs into my grandmother's living room, and what should you find? You would always find a Jackson 5 album. You would even find Ben, Michael Jackson's first album. If anybody keeps saying Thriller and Off the Wall was his first album, no, it wasn't. Go check the credit. Ben was his first album. And I was not born when those albums occurred. I grew up on I grew up on Michael Jackson, basically the whole Motown sound. That's how sometimes I got some of my talent. I be playing with you guys all the time on YouTube, just playing with my voice. I be testing it because I still got, I got a raspy voice. I sound like a dude. Let's be honest. I don't sugarcoat anything. I sound hardcore, and I'm not a skinny chick. So most of you who got my channel have already seen me. If you tied to my Facebook page, I'm not a dom or I'm not a lesbian or nothing that. I'm just a straight up female. But anyway, get back to that. I grew up on the Jacksons' legacy. I look at all this stuff, and those was like the cookout songs. Anybody remember putting the Jackson songs on? You get up on there, you listen to Michael Jackson, and man, I used to have a thing, man, when Janet Jackson was out, and I still like Janet Jackson, but I'm not keyed up on pop. I'm an R&B singer. I like R&B music, but I like the Jackson movement because the Jacksons brought flavor. I think the Lord did a tremendous job when he brought the Jacksons, because if it wasn't for the Lord, we wouldn't know who the Jacksons was. So growing up in my household in D.C., we would listen to the Jacksons and, turn on that motherfucker and say, enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. You got to enjoy yourself. So I used to listen to all of that. And if you don't know who the Jacksons are, and you ain't familiar with their legacy, then come on, Dad. The Jacksons got some hits. But I used to listen to Janet Control. I used to listen up, man. I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, Joe Jackson passed away. He died. His history, he got a secret daughter that just came out to the public, to the world. Oh, Joseph was a hoe. Yeah, I got to tell you, he was. He was a hoondagger. And I don't want to make no assumptions or nothing bad about anyone. Joseph beat his children. He had. His children had a ficky childhood. Had to see them being pressured in superstardom. And those Jacksons, you can just tell that they never called their father Dad. They called him Joseph. So you can tell that there was some abuse going on in that household. He would call it and describe it as tough love. But, nothing is like a father. When you have a father and your mother, your days should be long upon the earth. And even if you die young and you still respected your parents, your spirit still lives on because you honored your parents. Recently, his daughter, secret daughter's love child, who is quote unquote side chick, came out and said that she's the daughter. She's a fairly light-skinned woman. She's maybe about an inch lighter than me, just a teeny bit. I seen her. She got a book out called The Bastard Child, and she finally came full front. Joseph had a lot of skeletons in his closet. And he was a cheater. And back in my grandmother in them days, if you had a child out of wedlock, and during Joe Jackson and Miss Catherine Jackson's their days, you would keep it hush-hush. And the children would grow up and start telling and coming out. So, even if you living in the hood, I grew up in the hood. So, it's like if you lived in the neighborhood and your daddy lived around the corner and he didn't speak to you, everybody be like, that's your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Or if your dad was in the neighborhood, that's how so goddamn close it is. Growing up in the rough neighborhoods, you still see, you may have a cousin that live up the corner, a cousin that live in the court across you, or a cousin that live up the street, a cousin that live across the bridge, and they come over through the hood and kick it back in the dizzy. So, it was like that. Back in the days, it was different. a lot of mothers didn't go out there to fight people and beat up women and all of that because they slept with their man. They just left the men alone and still brought the children around. But I think in Catherine, Miss Jackson, Michael Jackson and Janice and the mom, and Reba Jackson, their mom, I believe she never had that young lady around because it was so, disrespectful. And it is disrespectful. But it's completely water under the bridge now. The next thing I would say is Michael Jackson has stopped him from managing things before everything, before they was actually growing up to able to manage and handle things for themselves, because Joseph was a motherfucker when he was alive. You could just look at him and tell he wasn't. He's like, no, you ain't. I'm controlling everything. He was. What I do say goes, and you're not going to do what the fuck you want to do. And I think he pressured his kids into superstar. Joseph can sing himself. Him and ex-wife Catherine. They can sing themselves. My mother used to be a singer. She used to sing. She was supposed to take a deal one time, but she never did. And I inherited the voice from her. I got a raspy voice, but I could do a little something. But enough of me. He passed away. Let's see who's going to inherit the money. And I know it's never really been about the money, but he was working on a lot of other projects, even though his children was retired from music. And Michael died, and he was still going on to keep legacy going because, Joe Jackson had a lot of projects put in place. I wonder, did he know left that he did, leaving the estate for his kids. But I'm sure that they'll figure everything out. He's dead. He's passed away. Some people probably say fuck him. He's in hell from all the stuff he put the kids through. But, at the end of the day, he's still Janet and Michael's father. Hopefully he will see his son in heaven, or if he made it. I mean, God forbid, I hope he paid his dues and said prayers before he left this world and had covenant before he left this world. But, yeah, I ain't going to say too much on that. You people, subscribe to the channel. Joe Jackson is dead at the age of 80 something. I think 85. However he is. I'll find out. But anyway, he passed away. The man is gone. He won't be coming back. Make sure y'all check out the channel, and I'm going to hit you people up. Peace.